You know, after you've spent an entire career building up your expertise, the idea of starting all over again can feel, well, a little overwhelming, especially when you start thinking about your savings. So today, we're going to break down exactly how you can launch a really meaningful second act business without a huge investment by turning those decades of your experience into your single greatest asset.
Okay, let's just get right to the heart of it, shall we? This is the one question that keeps so many talented, experienced professionals just like you on the sidelines. I mean, after a lifetime of careful planning, the thought of putting your retirement nest egg at risk for a new venture is, yeah, it's terrifying. But what if that's the completely wrong question to be asking?
And if you felt that hesitation, believe me, you are not alone. This assumption is a huge barrier for so many people. But the good news, it's based on a really outdated model of what it actually takes to start a business today. So let's go ahead and dismantle that idea piece by piece.
First things first, we have got to tackle this myth of the expensive startup. We've all been conditioned to picture business launches with big bank loans, fancy office spaces, and these huge marketing budgets. But for a business that's built on your expertise, that picture is completely, totally obsolete. Just look at the difference here. On the left, you've got the myth. Office leases, massive budgets, the whole shebang. But the reality for an expertise-based business, which you see on the right, it's lean, it's smart, it's strategic. It's all about leveraging these incredibly powerful and free tools that, frankly, just didn't exist a decade ago.
So what are we really talking about in terms of cost? Well, according to the U.S. Small Business Administration, you can launch a home-based service business for under $500. No, that is not a typo. Less than $500. That's less than a weekend getaway, and it could be the seed money for your entire next chapter.
So, why are the costs so incredibly low? Well, this brings us to what is maybe the most crucial mindset shift of all. You see, you don't need to go out and buy your most valuable asset, because you already own it. Think about it for a second. When you're starting a business based on what you know, your inventory isn't something you can store in a warehouse. It's not a bunch of physical equipment or some fancy storefront. No, it's something way, way more valuable than that.
Right here. This is the whole ball game. It's all those decades of solving problems, of seeing patterns nobody else saw, of honing your judgment over a long career. That's not just experience on a resume. In this new context, that is your intellectual capital. It's the equity you walk in with on day one.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. There's some amazing research from the Harvard Business Review that looked at 2.7 million entrepreneurs. And what they found was that founders over the age of 50 are twice as likely to build a successful company as their younger counterparts. Your experience isn't a liability. It is your absolute, definitive competitive edge. Okay, so how do you start to package all this expertise? It really begins with something simple we call a knowledge audit. I'd really encourage you to pause here and think about these 3 steps. What problems were you the go-to person for, over and over again? Who did you help? And what was the actual measurable result? The patterns you find here are the bedrock of your future business. All right, so once you have a clear idea of your intellectual capital, what do you actually do with it? Let's look at 3 specific, proven, and low-investment business models that are just perfectly suited for leveraging a lifetime of experience. This slide really lays it all out. Now look at the income potential. That's great, but what I really want you to notice are the other 2 columns. We're talking about working 10 to 15 hours a week and generating thousands in monthly income, all with startup costs under $500. The goal here isn't to replace your old 60-hour-a-week job, it's to add flexibility, purpose, and some serious financial breathing room to your life. And let's be crystal clear about this. Operating from home is no longer seen as small time. It's smart. It is a massive strategic advantage that just completely eliminates your 2 biggest potential costs, rent and a commute. It gives you the flexibility to be incredibly nimble. So, you've done your knowledge audit. You've picked a model that feels right. What's next? Forget about some 5-year business plan. Let's break down exactly what the first 90 days can look like to build real, immediate momentum.
This whole process is designed to be manageable and disciplined. The first month is all about getting clear on your offer and setting up your free toolkit. The second month is about getting out there, getting real-world feedback, and getting results for your first clients. And notice that last part. You only upgrade your tools once the free versions are actually holding you back. It's a smart, step-by-step approach.
And what are those tools we keep talking about? Well, here they are. This slide shows that pretty much all the technology you need to run a professional service business is, you guessed it, overwhelmingly free. Scheduling, accounting, video calls, the absolute core functions of your business can be run with zero monthly cost. And chances are you already know how to use most of these.
Here is a crucial piece of advice, and it comes straight from a CFO's playbook. Let your revenue fund your growth. Your number one priority is to prove your business concept and get cash flowing. Paying for fancy, premium software can wait. And that isn't being cheap. It's just smart financial discipline.
Okay, we have busted the myths. We've reframed your experience as your number one asset, and we've laid out a really practical plan to get you started. So the only thing left to do now is to begin. It's time to shift from planning to doing.
The most important question right now is this: what can you do this week to create some real momentum? First, just choose one model from the list. Don't overthink it. Second, write your offer down in a single sentence. Third, set up one free tool. I promise it'll take you less than 15 minutes. And finally, contact 3 former colleagues for feedback. That's it. That is how you begin.
And as you take those first simple steps, I want to leave you with this thought. Your first career was probably built on the traditional model, right? You traded your hours for a paycheck. But this next chapter, this offers a profound shift. It's about taking everything you've learned to create not just income, but a life with more freedom and more purpose.
Now, if you're ready to really take that next step, we've put together a whole suite of resources to help you do just that. And these aren't some generic guides. They're specifically designed for professionals like you who are building an amazing second act.
You can get immediate access to all of these tools by joining our free Retirepreneur Hub. And for ongoing strategies and ideas delivered right to your inbox, just subscribe to the weekly newsletter. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, go build what matters to you.